Hey guys, I'm in Niagara County, the New York side, right across from Canada, not just for eyes that view the falls. I don't know if you're aware, a lot of haunted and cryptid things going on around these falls. And if you see right behind me how spooky it is, saw something kind of go across. I don't know if I caught it on the camera, but I think I'm going to get out of here. Niagara Falls has legends involving Native American maids, waterfall thunder gods, and headless soldiers, and yes, one that even involves Bigfoot. In fact, the Niagara region has had many sightings of its own Bigfoot that go back hundreds of years. Many feel Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, as he is also called, is no legend or myth, but a real, breathing, walking specimen of primate that is yet to be classified. In Niagara County, Bigfoot has left behind some traces that have yet to be explained. For centuries, there have been stories among Native Americans in the region that refer to a creature that walks on 2 feet known as the hairy man. Some on the current Tuscarora Indian Reservation, located in Niagara County, claim that the hairy man still lives close by. In the early 1980s, a decapitated head and a pair of claws were found in the woods between Lewiston and Youngstown, New York, and Niagara County. Something about that name, I guess. A photo was taken of the rotting and dismembered items, and they were then tossed down the banks of the Niagara River near the Art Park Theater complex. The Niagara Falls Gazette then wrote a story on the find and published the photo. The publicity attracted Bigfoot researchers who traveled to the Niagara County from various states. The actual skull and claws were never retrieved, so researchers had nothing to go on other than interviews with the individuals who found them. Bigfoot researchers scoured the area where the remains were found, but came up empty. In 1986, the late Jerry Fidel, then the news director of WKBW-TV in Buffalo, was shown the photographs. Fidel was also told of a conversation a station reporter had with the former Niagara County Sheriff's deputy that indicated there was more to the matter. A confidential, off-the-record interview was then conducted with the former deputy. The individual claimed he was a member at one time of a special Bigfoot unit of the Niagara County Sheriff's Department. The interview revealed there had been a record of Bigfoot sightings in the area going back many years. Reportedly, the Sheriff's Department had investigated a number of these sightings, taking photographs of footprints left behind in the snow, conducted interviews with eyewitnesses, and even tracked the creature with dogs. Many times the reports of Bigfoot were not called in as such, but rather as a woman screaming in the woods or an animal in distress. When sheriff's deputies arrived, they found no woman or animal in distress, but sometimes their search found evidence of a creature like none had ever come across before. Locations where the Bigfoot sightings took place often had the telltale terrible odor that has been associated with sightings in various locations over the years. Deputies also measured footprints made with a stride not possible by humans. The theory of the sheriff investigators was that the creature frequented the area around Model City Road, located just below the Niagara Escarpment in the town of Lewiston. Along the escarpment, there are caves that investigators believe that have served as the shelter for the creature. For a brief time, the WKBW investigation considered using infrared cameras and conducting a stakeout of the area where the sightings were most frequent. A search of the Niagara River embankment where witnesses said the skull and claws found in 1980 were discarded produced no results. If anybody has listened to me talk about this before, infrared is seen by regular forest creatures. Why wouldn't Bigfoot notice them as well? The television station did have the photos of the skull and claws shown to a zoologist at the Buffalo Zoo for identification. Without the specimen in the hand of the zoologist, though, could not identify the animal and speculated that it may have been a young bear, but due to the state of decomposition, he wasn't sure. Eventually, investigation by WKBW-TV fizzled. The former sheriff deputy refused to go on camera or to be recorded in any manner to discuss the case. With no credible authority willing to go on camera, the story came to a halt. Bigfoot has stayed out of the news for the most part since the 1980s. However, in 2007, there was a sighting by an individual named Kevin near Middleport, New York in Niagara County. This is the transcript from that incident. I stopped at a working stone quarry area that I had been to on many other occasions to spot a deer. As I stepped out of my truck to look into the very large field, the deer that are normally in, I immediately saw what I initially thought was a girl with very long hair. It cascaded off the head and at a considerable distance appeared initially as far below the waist, moving very rapidly through the waist-high field grass, covering what I estimate around 75 yards in certainly less than 15 seconds. As I looked back, I believe I was looking at the full body hair and not just hair flowing from the head. As the figure continued onto my right at approximately 225 yards away, I noticed that it didn't seem to have any clothing I could see, and as the biped moved into shorter grass and moved slightly away from me and crossing a tractor path, I could make out what I thought were gluteal cheeks, and at the same time realized that the whole body was the same color as the head and upper torso. This biped moved very rapidly through the rocky terrain along the far edge of a huge quarry, and at the same time did not appear to be running at any time, but moved gracefully and smoothly with no apparent arm swinging I could see. It moved quickly into a field of corn, and I did not see it despite scanning for another 10 minutes. It is my belief that I did in fact witness a hairy, bipedal animal, and since that time I have spent considerable time in and around the general area to spot and look for sign of some type. I have spent all my life in the outdoors as an avid hunter and camper and know what I saw and realize that not many people have had the privilege to witness. I will continue to look forward to finding and hopefully seeing another Bigfoot, as I have been told by Mike George that there was another sighting last year by multiple people at another quarry about 4 miles to the east at another working stone quarry. That information confirmed my sighting for me, as a certain amount of self-doubt manifests after such an incident. I am Native American and aware of the many legends of the First Nations of long ago, and consider this as a sign that I must carefully consider. If Bigfoot exists in the Niagara Falls region, he has managed to keep a very low profile over the years. Other than the occasional footprint and the documented stories from locals, Bigfoot sightings are a rarity. Unlike parts of the American Northwest where Bigfoot has become local celebrity, It's the Niagara Falls that reigns supreme as the main tourist attraction in western New York. As for other cryptids, there have been many sightings of dogmen and other strange kinds of reptiles in the waters around the waterfalls and rivers. On top of that as well, many paranormal and ghostly events have happened as well around the waters of the Niagaras. On Season 7, Episode 7 of Expedition X, The Niagara Nightmare, Josh Gates's crew checked out paranormal activity, and they definitely caught something. What do you guys think about the falls? Let me know in the comments. Hey, Planet 412, 2025 is going to be gigantic for the 412. All kinds of new formats and huge things are in store. What am I talking about? You'll find out. But one thing's going to happen for sure. This guy's going to be in a new documentary on ETS, Exposing the Strange, directed by David Wolf. Well, David Wolf was just on a live stream not too long ago on Planet 412. You guys probably saw it. If you haven't, check it out.
What do you think dogman is? Do you think it's supernatural or flesh and blood?
You know, that's a slippery slope for some people. So with my experience, I 100% believe that it was supernatural.
We just heard a rock clack right over here.